Oh my God, I don't even know what's happening here, but I think that one of the staff members are hoarding the lunches that are meant for the homeless people living at our hotel slash shelter. So yesterday I went down to the office and I spoke to some other women about this too, and we were being told by some staff that so you get like these brown paper bags with like a few pantry items in them. It's supposed to be for one for each resident. It's usually like bakery items that I can't eat because I'm gluten free, but my kids eat it. So, anyways, me and some of the other women were told that to go and get those breakfast bags between the hours of 9 and 10 in the morning. So that's what we were doing, or we tried to do. And then, like, another staff told us, no, it's actually between 8 and 9. So some of us got up early today to go and get the breakfast between 8 and 9, and there were none left. Even though, like, we went plenty of time in advance and, like, multiple people got turned away. But what's weird is yesterday the same thing happened where they're like, oh, there's none left. And so I'm like, okay, that's kind of disappointing, you know. I'm allergic to everything in the bag, but, like, I mean, there was some juice boxes that I could have given to my kids, and, like, there was, like, croissant and muffin that my kids would have ate, so that's fine. But I'm just like, whatever, I'll just take them for breakfast. But then, like, excuse me, I ended up speaking to the owner yesterday in the hallway, and he's like, you could tell, like, there was just some stuff that was bugging me, and I was just like, yeah, I'm just dealing with some stuff. And we chit-chatted a little bit, and I had mentioned that I had missed the breakfasts for my kids, and then all of a sudden, as if out of, like, thin air, he materialized with 6 breakfasts that me and other residents here were told didn't exist, that they ran out. And then all of a sudden the owner, who I think has a crush on me, materialized with 6 breakfast bags for me and my 2 kids. And I'm just like, why are other mothers being told that there's no food left? And then the manager has just materialized 6 random breakfast bags. So it's kind of fucked up. Like, some of the staff are, like, hoarding the breakfast bags, and, like, maybe they're picking and choosing favorites, like who they're gonna give the breakfast to and who doesn't get a breakfast. It sounds bizarre, but honestly, I could see someone doing this, someone with, like, I don't know, ego issues or power and control issues. See, some people get into working in the helping field for a job, for a paycheck, and they don't really care about the people that they're helping. And unfortunately, that's the case a lot. So it ends up being that the people that they're helping, they judge and they discriminate against, and they, kind of, like, abuse their power or authority over. Yeah, I kind of think that that's what's happening here. I don't know. Some of the residents I've heard, like, complain about the living conditions. Like, there's some issues here, and one of the maintenance guys, like, well, geez, they're homeless. They got nowhere to go. They shouldn't be complaining about anything. And I'm just like, okay, easy there, buddy. The receptionist yesterday called the residents of this place savages to another resident. I could see how this could be very unprofessional and insulting and offensive, especially if they're talking about people with indigenous backgrounds, which myself and others here have. But the receptionist yesterday, who was also caught, lying on me about this and about that, she called us savages. She goes to my neighbor and she's like, well, you better get here early before all the savages get here to take their food. And I'm just like, okay. Whether that's a joke or not, It's really unprofessional, and it's not a joke that should be said aloud and in the open, and especially for other residents to hear. Like, you are not to be discriminating against people that you are servicing. You know, you are entrusted in the role of a service provider to help people that are vulnerable, people from the vulnerable sector, you know, women, children, homeless people. Um, it's not the language or the terminology. I don't care that it's a joke because people will take offense to it. And if you're getting a paycheck and you're in a position of authority or working in the helping field, you represent the organization or the company that you're working for. So the face and the attitude that you put forward is going to be a direct reflection of your entire organization, whether you want it to be or not. Because you're a part of that team, and that's just how it goes. That's just how people see things. So yeah, one person could ruin their reputation for an entire company or organization depending on their conduct. And that's the truth. And people need to take that more seriously. If I heard my staff, who was supposed to have a college degree and I hired to work in this helping field, in this vulnerable sector, and I heard her talking like that about the clients of the shelter, we would have a serious discussion. There would be repercussions, and everyone would have to sit down at a meeting and discuss openly as a group how that kind of toxic terminology is and attitude is not welcome there. And that's what should be done, because these people need to sit down. So the manager apologized to me yesterday for the bad attitude of his receptionist. I'm like, you know, it's one thing to apologize, and apologies, you know, can be rare and few and far between sometimes, but it's a different thing to actually change the behavior. You know, someone can apologize and make all kinds of excuses. He's like, oh, they deal with all kinds of difficult people with difficult personality and this and that. Yes, but it is your job to deal with these difficult people with difficult personalities. And as a paid professional, it is also your job to maintain your composure and professionalism. Something to think about.